Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Really listen to me. Because what I'm about to say might just change the way you see love, the way you see relationships, and most importantly, the way you see God's plan for your life. See, too many of us are out here chasing something that was meant to find us. We run after people who were never meant to stay. We beg for love that was never meant to be ours. But let me tell you this, when God chooses someone for you, you won't have to chase, you won't have to beg, and you won't have to compromise your worth just to keep them. Now you might be wondering, how do I know when the right one has come? Well, I'll tell you. God doesn't work in confusion. He doesn't send someone into your life to destroy your peace. He sends them to add to it. When God chooses someone for you, you'll notice the signs. First, there will be peace, not pressure. The right person won't have you guessing, wondering, or questioning your value. When God is behind it, love doesn't feel like a battlefield. It feels like a blessing. The wrong people will drain you, distract you, and distance you from your purpose. The right one, they align with your destiny. Second, they will push you toward purpose, not pull you away from it. The person God sends won't just love you. They'll see the greatness inside you. They will pray for you, encourage you, and challenge you to be better. If someone is pulling you away from your faith, your dreams, your goals, that's not a God-ordained connection. That's a distraction. And let me tell you something, you don't have time for distractions. Third, God's chosen partner for you will love you with action, not just words. Anybody can say they love you, but the right one will show you. They'll be consistent, reliable, and present in your life. They won't make you feel like an option, they'll make you feel like a priority. And when the storms of life come, they won't run, they'll stand beside you and weather them with you. And finally, this is the big one. When God brings the right person into your life, you will feel a deeper connection, not just attraction. Look, attraction fades, looks change. But when God is at the center of a relationship, there is a bond that time cannot break. The world can't explain it, but your spirit will recognize it. That's because what God ordains, no man can tear apart. So stop worrying, stop chasing, stop settling for anything less than what God has for you. Because when the right person comes, when the chosen one steps into your life, you won't have to force it. You won't have to fight for their attention. You won't have to lose yourself just to love them. You will know. Your spirit will know. And more than anything, God will confirm it. So stay patient, stay faithful, and when the signs appear, don't question, just receive. Because when God brings the right one, it won't just be good, it will be divine. God bless you. Keep the faith. Your blessing is on the way. Listen to me and listen closely, because I need you to understand something. When God is in it, there is peace, not pressure. Too many people out here are mistaking chaos for love. They think that if it's complicated, if it's stressful, if they have to constantly prove themselves just to be seen, then that must mean it's real. But let me tell you something. Love is not supposed to break you before it builds you. If you have to fight every single day just to keep their attention, if you have to walk on eggshells to keep them from leaving, if you have to lower your standards just to hold on to them, then I have news for you. That is not love. That is a battle. And love, real love, should not feel like a war zone. God is not the author of confusion. When He brings the right person into your life, you will know it by the peace they bring, not by the anxiety they cause. You will know it by the peace they bring, not by the anxiety they cause. The right person will not have you up at night questioning your worth. They will not have you doubting yourself, wondering if you're enough. Because let me tell you something. You are enough. And the person God has for you will see that without you having to constantly remind them. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but what if love is just hard? What if this is just how relationships work? And let me be clear, no relationship is perfect. There will be challenges, there will be misunderstandings, there will be moments where you have to work through things. But there is a difference between working through problems and fighting through pain. When love is from God, you feel the difference. You feel safe, not scared. You feel valued, not like an afterthought. You feel chosen, not like an option. Because when something is meant for you, it does not come with constant turmoil. It does not come with a heavy heart every single day. It comes with the kind of peace that settles deep in your spirit, the kind of peace that whispers, "This is right." You see, the enemy wants to keep you stuck in places where you are not valued. He wants you to stay in relationships where you have to beg to be loved, where you have to compete for attention. But God, listen to me now. God wants you to step into a relationship that aligns with His purpose for your life. Some of you are holding on to something that God has been trying to remove. Some of you are forcing something that was never meant to fit. And the reason you feel so drained, so tired, so empty is because you're carrying a relationship that God never gave you. Let it go. Let go of the pressure to prove yourself. Let go of the fear that you'll never find someone else. Let go of the lie that tells you this is the best you'll ever get. Because when you stop chasing the wrong thing, you give God room to send you the right thing. And when that right person comes, you will know. You won't have to guess. You won't have to force them to love you. You won't have to change who you are just to fit into their life. Because what God blesses, He also sustains. So if something is constantly falling apart, constantly making you feel small, constantly making you question who you are, step back. Because love should not feel like you're losing yourself. Love, real love, will feel like you're finally home. Listen to me and listen closely, because this is where so many people miss it. Love is not just about feelings. Love is not just about romance. Love is about purpose. And when God sends the right person into your life, they will not just love you, they will push you toward your purpose. See, the wrong people will pull you away from your destiny. They will distract you, drain you, and make you forget who you were called to be. You'll start settling for less. You'll start losing sight of your vision. You'll start making excuses for why you're not growing, why you're not moving forward, why you're stuck in the same place. But the right one, the God-chosen one, will remind you of your greatness. They will see the power inside of you before you even see it yourself. Some of you are in relationships that are keeping you small. You've been sitting on dreams, sitting on talent, sitting on gifts that God gave you because the person you're with doesn't see them. And let me tell you something. If they don't see what God has put inside you, they cannot be the one He sent. Because the right one, they won't just see your potential, they'll speak to it. They'll encourage you, they'll hold you accountable. They'll remind you of your calling when you feel like giving up. They won't be intimidated by your success. They won't compete with you. They won't make you feel like you have to dim your light just to make them comfortable. No, the right one will say, shine. The right one will say, go after it. The right one will pray for you, fight for you, stand beside you, and walk with you as you step into everything God has for you. But the wrong one will do the opposite. They will distract you with meaningless arguments, drain your energy with unnecessary drama, and make you question whether your dreams are even worth it. Some of you are wondering why you've been feeling stuck. You've been praying for progress, praying for breakthrough, praying for doors to open, but the truth is, you can't step into your next season while holding on to people who were never meant to go with you. You cannot take distractions into your destiny. You cannot take weight into your winning season. And some of you have been carrying relationships that are too heavy for where God is trying to take you. You're trying to run your race while dragging dead weight, And it's time to let go, because the person God has for you, they will lift you, not hold you down. They will inspire you, not exhaust you. They will believe in your dreams as if they were their own. Because when God brings two people together, it's not just about love. It's about purpose. It's about building something together. It's about growth. It's about stepping into greater levels as a team, as partners, as destiny helpers to one another. So ask yourself, are you with someone who is helping you become all that God created you to be? Or are you with someone who is keeping you from it? Because if you are with the right one, you will feel it in your spirit. There will be confirmation, there will be alignment, there will be movement. But if you are with the wrong one, you will feel it in your soul. There will be hesitation, there will be frustration, there will be stagnation. And the truth is, you already know the answer. Because when something is meant for you, it grows you. And when something is not, it slows you. So stop holding on to what's holding you back. Because the moment you release what is not for you, God can finally give you what is. Let me tell you something that will save you from years of heartbreak, years of disappointment, years of wasted time. Love is not what people say, love is what people do. Anybody can tell you they love you. Anybody can send you sweet texts. Anybody can promise you the world. But words mean nothing if the actions don't match. Because real love, the kind that God ordains, is not just spoken, it is shown. Some of you have been stuck in relationships built on empty words. You hear, I love you, but you don't feel it. You hear, I'll be there for you, but every time you need them, they're gone. You hear, I want a future with you, but their actions say they're only here for the moment. And let me tell you something. If their actions don't align with their words, believe the actions. Love is consistency. Love is effort. Love is sacrifice. If you are constantly questioning where you stand, if you have to keep reminding them how to treat you, if you feel like you're putting in all the work while they give you excuses, then hear me loud and clear. That is not love. That is convenience. That is someone keeping you around because it's easy, not because they are truly committed to you. Real love does not play with your emotions. Real love does not make you feel uncertain every other day. Real love shows up in the good times, in the hard times, when it's easy, when it's inconvenient. Love does not disappear when things get tough. Love stays. Love works through it. Some of you are settling for almost love. Someone who calls when they're bored, but never when you need them. Someone who apologizes, but does all the right things, but does all the wrong things. And if that's what you're holding on to, let me tell you something. You're blocking the real thing from coming into your life. Because when God sends the right person, you will not have to guess how they feel about you. You will not have to fight for their attention. You will not have to beg for their effort. They will show up for you, not because you had to convince them, but don't let loneliness trick you into settling for halfway love. Because the enemy will send distractions that look like love just to keep you from the real thing. He will send people who give you just enough attention to keep you from moving on, just enough effort to make you stay, just enough affection to make you second guess whether you should leave. And that's how people stay stuck in cycles. Giving their heart to someone who never had any real intention of protecting it. Stop listening to words and start watching patterns. Stop falling for potential and start looking at proof. If they really love you, you won't have to question it. If they truly care, their actions will show it. And if they don't, then the hardest truth is also the simplest one. They're not the one God sent for you. God will never send someone into your life to play with your heart. When He chooses someone for you, they will come with clarity, not confusion. They will bring security, not insecurity. They will protect your heart, not toy with it. So if you're in a situation where you feel like you're the only one trying, the only one giving, the only one investing, ask yourself, is this love or is this just me refusing to let go? Because the right person will love you in a way that speaks louder than words. And when love is real, it will show you without a doubt, without hesitation, and without you ever having to beg for it. Listen to me, because this is where people get it wrong every single time. Attraction, that's easy. Anybody can be attracted to somebody. Chemistry, that can happen with the wrong person just as easily as the right one. But when God is in it, when it's the person He chose for you, it's deeper than attraction, deeper than chemistry, deeper than emotions. It's spiritual. See, the world will tell you to go after what looks good. The world will tell you to focus on appearance, status, charm. But let me tell you something. Looks will fade. Feelings will shift. That spark you think is enough to sustain a relationship, it will burn out if there's no foundation beneath it. And if all you have is surface level attraction, when the storms of life hit, that relationship will crumble. Some of you are wondering why your relationships keep failing. You're wondering why you keep getting your heart broken, why nothing ever lasts, why you keep running into the same kind of person in a different body. And I'll tell you why. Because you're choosing based on what your eyes see, not what your spirit knows. You're looking at how they make you feel, not how they lead you. You're chasing excitement instead of alignment. When God sends the right person, there will be something different about them. You won't just feel drawn to them, your spirit will recognize them. It will feel like peace. It will feel like purpose. It will feel like a divine connection, not just a casual romance. They won't just stimulate your emotions, they will elevate your soul. And let me be real with you. There are people out there who can make your heart race, but they can't help you grow. There are people who can make you feel butterflies, but they will never pray for you, never support your purpose, never push you toward the person God created you to be. And if they are not helping you move closer to God's plan, then it's not a connection, it's a distraction. Stop ignoring the warning signs just because they look good. Stop staying in relationships that feel right but don't align with your purpose, because the wrong relationship will drain you while the right one will strengthen you. The wrong one will keep you confused, but the right one will bring clarity. The wrong one will demand that you shrink yourself to fit into their world, but the right one will make room for your growth, your dreams, your destiny. Some of you are holding on to something that looks perfect on the outside, but feels empty on the inside. And the truth is, you already know it's not for you. You feel it in your gut. You see the red flags. You recognize the distance between where you are and where God is trying to take you. But you're afraid to let go because you're afraid you won't find something better. But let me tell you something. God is not going to take something away without replacing it with something greater. If you let go of the wrong connection, He will bring you the right one. And when that person comes, you will know, because real love, God-ordained love, won't just make your heart skip a beat. It will make your spirit feel at home. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to question it. You won't have to force it. Because when God brings two people together, it is not just for romance, it is for purpose. And when love is built on purpose, it will stand through anything. You've got to hear me on this, because too many people are out here running in circles, chasing something that was never meant for them. Too many people are losing sleep, losing peace, losing themselves, because they're trying to force something that God has already decided isn't theirs. And let me tell you right now, what's meant for you will not have to be chased. See, we live in a world that tells you to go get it, that if you want something bad enough, you have to fight for it, hold on to it, refuse to let go. But when it comes to love, the kind of love that God chooses for you, you don't have to manipulate it, you don't have to convince someone to stay, you don't have to keep proving your worth to someone who can't even see it. Because when it's right, it will flow. When it's God's timing, it will come together. And when it's meant for you, nothing and no one can stop it. But too many people are out here forcing relationships, begging for love, trying to build a future with someone who is only meant to be a lesson, not a lifetime. And you know what that does? It delays the real thing. It keeps you in a cycle of heartbreak. It keeps you so busy trying to hold on to the wrong one that you don't even see the right one standing in front of you. Some of you are asking, why is it taking so long? You're looking at your life, looking at your relationships, wondering why nothing is working, why God hasn't brought the person you've been praying for. But let me ask you something. Are you ready for what you're asking for? Are you in a position to receive it? Because God is not going to give you something you're not prepared to handle. He's not going to send you a blessing while you're still entertaining distractions. He's not going to bring the right one into your life if you're still holding space for the wrong one. You've got to trust His timing. You've got to believe that He knows what He's doing, because God doesn't operate on our schedule. He doesn't move according to our impatience. He moves when the time is right. And when that time comes, you won't have to fight for it. You won't have to sit there wondering, do they love me? Do they see me? Am I enough for them? Am I enough for them? Because the person God sends will already know what they have in you. They will see your value without you having to prove it. They will love you in a way that feels natural, peaceful, effortless. Not because love doesn't take work, but because love is not supposed to be war. And some of you need to let this sink in. Rejection is not always a loss. Sometimes it's a rescue. That person who left, maybe God removed them because they were standing in the way of something better. That situation that fell apart, maybe God broke it down so He could build something stronger in its place. That relationship that didn't work out, no matter how hard you tried, maybe it didn't work out because it wasn't supposed to. Stop running after what's running away from you. Stop chasing people who are showing you they don't want to be caught. Stop trying to open doors that God Himself has locked. If they walked away, let them. If they won't love you right, release them. If it's not bringing you peace, stop fighting for it. Because when the person God has for you arrives, you won't have to beg them to stay. They will choose you the same way you choose them. And that kind of love is always worth the wait.